Welcome. Welcome to the Heartbreak Hotel Book Club. We are in week 6 of our program. And tonight I want to talk about the power of the word and how it works in writing, but also how it works in healing. With grief and with heartbreak, I personally believe it's something that never truly goes away. I think that we learn how to carry it and we learn how to speak to it. But I think the hardest thing about grief is that it's unpredictable, that it can come to us at any time, that it can find us in the most unexpected places, that grief will find us and make us feel it. It always finds its way home to your heart. And with grief, that I think that souls and people recognize loss within each other. I think that there's a level of emotional maturity that comes with grief and understanding because you understand that your perception of time has been changed. And that grief has a way of instantaneously making you understand or feel, even if you haven't processed it yet, what's important and what's not. It does come with those feelings of regret, and it comes with the desire to bargain, and it comes with the inability to understand why, and it comes with a lot of true heaviness of realizing just how mortal we all are, and that our loss when we go will affect the people around us in that same way. And there's, I think, a part of us that doesn't want the people we love to feel that same level of pain that we are feeling because we knew you, because they know you, because they have lived a life with you or have had a level of interaction, whether that's friendship or intimacy or some level of connection. So there's a part of us that doesn't want the other person to feel that level of pain that we ourselves can't even understand. But the thing with grief and with heartbreak is that I believe it comes with that juncture of and. And is an incredible way to expand on something and is an incredible word to be able to bridge two things together and is allows us the ability to do more than one thing at one time. You can be this and that. You can feel this and feel that. You can have loss and grief and sadness and anger and happiness and joy. And I think as we go through our healing journey with that heartbreak, with that situation, with that person, we do come to a point where and starts to slip into the picture. That yes, I miss them with all of my heart. And I also actually had a really good day. Yes, I'm mad at them for what they did and how they did it. And I'm really grateful that I was able to cry about it. And is this bridge, this next step, this allowing for it to be, for you to be, for your heartbreak, for your grief, to be something else. To feel like you can walk hand in hand with your grief and with your heartbreak. I think this is where it really starts to become not a part of you, but it starts to feel I feel like it becomes a part of you. It's not this foreign object attached to you. It's me and my grief. Whatever you feel like you want to spin the tail of your story with that, not in a way that's leaning into the victimization of having your grief, but the empowering part of, yes, I've had this and I've had great loss, but I've had great love with it. I've had loss and I've had love. That's how powerful this word is. This small little word that we use on a regular basis. That so many people feel like they need to take out of their vocabulary, that they need to take out of the vernacular of their everyday. It's almost like most people use and to help drive a point home. And it's this, and it's that. It's an emphasis on something that is negative. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can choose for it to be something else. Yes, it can be like this, and it gets to be like that. Learning to be able to walk through life with your grief, knowing that a part of you has changed, knowing that a part of you is matured, knowing there's a part of you that may or may not have been called home yet, just like we did in the Reiki session. You can take these next steps to expand into this new feeling, that it actually isn't a limitation. It's this incredible reminder of how beautiful life can be. I saw this great quote today from the movie Achilles, and it talks about how the gods envy us as humans because we are mortal, and because we are doomed, life is more beautiful. And I think that once you have experienced grief, especially to a higher degree or level, not necessarily with the person or situation that's lost, but like your own internal grief meter, like from a level 4 to like from a level 1 to a level 10, you're experiencing that 8, 9, 10, that life looks different. It changes things. It changes everything sometimes. And we learn to, it's almost like you get like a new backpack and you got to like learn how to settle into it. And you get a new pair of shoes and you have to break them in. That there's this pain that comes with this awareness, but then it has this incredible gift to actually get us farther and with more understanding in life. That maybe this grief comes with the gift of fearlessness. That maybe this heartbreak comes with the gift of value. That maybe your heartache and longing comes with the gift of desire and manifesting and power. Breathe into that. See where there's understanding. Do you feel, if you were to ask yourself, that in your healing journey, are you at the point now of feeling and? Am I still upset of this? And can I still live the life that I want? Am I sad and happy today? Where can you pull in the and to help you lean into that next step of not being victimized by your grief, by not being victimized by that situation, by leaning into your own inner strength to be able to carry that grief, knowing and having that acceptance, perhaps, that this is just a part of who you are now and you'll always have it. That where can you integrate this? Where can you let this old feeling of thinking that there's nothing else, the feeling like, yes, there may be nothing else, and I can have a little bit of hope. Where can you bring and into your thought process? Where can you take this into your flipping it now into writing? Where can you take this into like, I wrote this amazing poem, and so somebody else wrote an amazing poem too. Yes, I'm comparing myself to somebody else, and I'm going to keep writing, regardless of what they write or how good I think it is. Yes, I can keep this writing for private, and I can show it to somebody else that's important, that can hold that space for me, that can be encouraging of my words in space. Where can you take your overthinking about your writing, about your grief, about your heartache, and put the word and into it? So many of us are overthinkers and very self-analytical. And it's not about getting rid of that overthinking. I think it's about turning it into a conversation. Where can I add to this? Yes, I feel like this, but can I also feel like this? Yes, this is happening, and this is also happening too. I also think this is how we keep promises to ourselves. Yes, I find myself not wanting to do something, and I still think it's really important. Where can you take a more negative thought or statement, feeling, or emotion? And then where can you also attach something more inspiring or empowering or uplifting to it? It's not about getting rid of the grief and the negativity like all at once in one shot and just turning it off. Yes, I forgave them. Yes, I accept it. Yes, I do this thing. I think we have to get into this space and feeling of being able to feel both things. Yeah, I'm still really fucking sad that this happened. And I can't believe it. And I am also living an incredible life. And I'm not going to let that hold me back from it anymore. Where can you take this and bridge from the world that you are into the world that you want to be? Whether that be emotionally, whether that be energetically, maybe that's your spiritual feeling, maybe that's like your physical realm that you feel like you've been in this feeling for so long and the victim, like, I don't like the word victim, but I don't want to like, you have been letting the grief dictate decisions and you've letting the heartbreak dictate decisions in your life for X amount of time because there's no timeline on grief and everyone's different. Okay. Where are you at that point that you don't want it to make all the decisions? Or you can feel like you can start to have a more inspired part of you, this life that you want to live, maybe if it's with them, whether maybe you're not. Where can you bring that element back into your life? Where are you going to let a higher part of you make those decisions? Yes, this part of me in this grief is dictating what I do and the attitude I do it in right now. And tomorrow I can try again. Having that space of bridging the two worlds helps us adjust to it, I think, in a way that feels nourishing, in a way that feels supported, and in a way that helps us feel understanding to ourselves. And that's what I think helps keep the promises we made to ourselves. Yes, I want to be able to follow through. And yes, these things are making the decisions, but I'm allowed to feel both. And I get to keep trying over and over again. Incredible thing about awareness and about patterns and about emotions and feeling is I feel like we come into a pattern of seeing the perspective of a situation or a person, but I see it on a spiral staircase. So that it may seem like you're coming back to that same feeling of grief and that same person again and that same situation over and over again. But every time you do, you're higher in that spiral staircase. So you can see more, you can see farther each time. You can start to see the and part of where you're getting in life. And sometimes there's a part of us that doesn't want to get to the end part. We're not ready for that yet. We still have emotions that need to be felt and things that need to be said. But there will eventually be a part where you can be like, I am high enough in this staircase of awareness, this spiral staircase of awareness, to see something else, to see it from a different light. And then I think when we're in that pattern of that, we go through being able to see it after it's happened, that grief has dictated this decision, and you see it afterwards, and you're like, oh man, oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's Maybe I don't want that anymore. Okay. So when this happens again, because it will, you can feel into it. You can have that sense of awareness when it's happening. You're like, oh my gosh, here's this thing again. I'm in it. I can't stop it, but this is what I said I didn't want to do, but here I am doing it. And then the next time it happens, or you'll find yourself even after a few times of it happening, that you can stop it when you're in it. Oh my gosh, this thing's happening again. I don't want to do this. I'm going to stop. No, like this is not what I want. And you change it. And then you start to feel yourself being drawn into it and you stop it before you even get in there. That this pattern of awareness, this spiral staircase of being able to be in that same emotion over and over again, but learning a little bit more about ourselves each time, learning a little bit more about what we want, learning a little bit more about what we don't want. Maybe it's how we want to handle things. Maybe it's how we want to be treated. Maybe it's how when we leave, we don't want this kind of mess behind, or there to be more support afterwards. It's the spiral staircase of awareness and working through the pattern of pulling yourself into that and. Yes, this is happening and I want something different. And I think it's really important to know that there's no timeline, that you can go through one of these steps multiple times before like you have moved on to the next one, that there is zero shame in being in any of them. This is the part of being human. This is the part of the adventure and the journey of understanding that this is what we're here to learn, is this human experience of repeating patterns and emotions and love and grief. So checking in with yourself, asking yourself if you feel like you're ready to be at that part where you're in your healing, to be it. And can I feel sad? And can I feel joy? Bringing that into writing, personally, I never use the word and. I always use an ampersand. I love the look of it. I love the symbology of it. I love the punctuation. I love being able, it's one of my favorite characters. I love the swirl and the length of it. It draws attention to the word. It's not something that I want to have skipped over, whether you're aware of it or not. And when you bring attention to your writing, where you put your ands, that you can maybe even look back and see your progress in healing just by the use of the word and. Breathing in, having compassion for yourself for either not being at that point, or for being at that point, or being way past that point. Where is it to be? I want to share with you a writing. So I always do. I'm just gonna like pick. And it's upside down. See, when I write, I always use, wait, is that it? Yeah. I use a squiggly ampersand instead of the word. It says, everyone always assumes that we're together. And I keep forgetting. Oh, I can't even remember writing. And I feel like I read this one before. I keep forgetting. No, I can't read my writing. And that it's all real and has been for weeks, soon to be months. Will there ever be a time where I let myself live in the truth of now? Whew, wish I could read that other word because it is scribble. You took me to a place that I hadn't been before, a place where dimensions are expansive and the worlds melt together, a place where you can see the music and Your body doesn't know what realm you are in. You kept me warm as I have my own experience. And I could feel the threads of memories being pulled from me. I saw with my eyes closed that night. I could feel color and played with the energy in a new way as I glitched from one matrix to the other. Looking at the use of the word and using it with purpose and intention with your writing, within your own thoughts, with your own life and feeling. Where can you give yourself the gift of healing just that little bit more using the word and? For a writing assignment this week, I would encourage you to take your feelings of grief and heartbreak and pair them, I feel so redundant, and pair them with the perspective of seeing it from a different situation. Do you see a little bit more? Do you see a little bit of a lesson? Do you see a little bit more love or light? Whatever it may be, where can you pair the two? Where can you bridge the writing? Where can you bridge your heartbreak with that word and? And I'd love to see it. Thanks so much again for week 6, and we'll see you next week.